If there is one thing I have learned about the Montreal Canadiens fan base over the past 2 years, it's that anything involving Juraj Slafkovsky is a hot topic. And no, I'm not going to complain about that. It makes my job really easy because, hey, if there's a new Juraj Slafkovsky article, if there's a new interview with him, if there's a new this, a new that, a goal he scored, everybody goes crazy, and it's usually for a good reason. So, we are catering to the audience in this video because there is a brand new article on NHL.com from NHL.com/SK, so the Slovak version of NHL.com, about Montreal Canadiens' first overall pick, Juraj Slafkovsky, and a crazy quote that they put in the title of the entire article. Take a look at this piece. Slafkovsky says, "I don't care about points, but about wins." The young Slovak learns to play under pressure even at the World Championships. Others praise him. He's an exceptional player, says Cole Caulfield. This was published by Michael Langer from earlier yesterday. It will be linked in the description if you want to go ahead and read this. But of course, the article has to be translated. It is originally from the Slovak version of NHL.com, so we're going to have to use the Google machine to help us out. But just in case you needed the update, Slovakia hasn't played an extra game ever since the video we made yesterday about Tomáš Tatar's comments on Slafkovsky. Slav is still at the same, 4 points in 4 games played. Point per game guy at the tournament, he had a win over the USA and Cole Caulfield, which is sure to bring some bragging rights with it. But let's go over back to this piece on NHL.com and read what the article says. It opens up by talking about how, when it comes to Juraj Slafkovsky internationally, he had one of his best performances as a hockey player at the Beijing 2022 Olympic Games, and how, nowadays, you're potentially seeing him do the same thing now. Every tournament is different and many factors come into play. One of the biggest stars of Ostrava Group B has the same number of points and 4 assists after 4 games, but is still waiting for a goal and is not dominating the game as many Slovak fans believed. Now honestly, I disagree with that. Per se, if you do watch some of the tape, I have noticed a lot of Slafkovsky creating plays and driving pucks into open areas and just making good reads. I don't necessarily think this article is giving him as much credit as he deserves, but I guess we can agree to disagree. He is not one of the top guys in points, as we had talked about yesterday. That top line with Tomáš Tatar, Lukas Singel, and Libor Hudacek has indeed been scoring a lot more points than Slafkovsky. Either way, this is what the article goes out there and says. Slafkovsky's search for the right rhythm, aka potentially getting some goals up on the board, is somewhat reminiscent of the beginning of his second season in the NHL. He started the 23-24 season in Montreal with 10 games with a single assist, and after 15 games he had a record of 1-1. He was in spectacular form in December, and since then has regularly confirmed why he was the first overall pick in the 2022 draft. He's taken a huge step forward. He's gained confidence on the ice. He started to be strong on the puck. I've been keeping my fingers crossed for him, said Tomáš Tatar. He's special. He's already becoming really popular in the league, and rightly so. So there you go, some extra comments here for Tomáš Tatar, former Montreal Canadiens legend and overall top-tier player of the Slovak team. And here we go with the next part of the article. This is where the Slafkovsky comments come to light. Overall, I feel much better. I have more confidence on the ice. I feel better with and without the puck. It seems to me that I make better decisions in games than in the past. Hockey is easier for me, said the tall native of Kossis, who eventually fit into the elite Montreal line with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. And when Slafkovsky says this, I feel like a lot of Canadiens fans could hear that and be like, oh yeah, 100%. Like, he feels that he's making better decisions with and without the puck. He feels more comfortable in the league. Yeah, no, we're seeing that because the way he's able to traverse around the ice, how he moves, where he puts himself, and what he does when he has the puck, it's a lot different than how we were watching him when he made his debut in 22-23. Night and day difference entirely. And as we talked about yesterday, I feel like the same point still applies here, that because he was so used to being a hockey player on European ice, the fact that he had to readjust how he felt and how he moved and where he put himself in the NHL kind of was a testament to his immediate forcing of growth to kick off his NHL career, and he had a limited stint to do that because he got injured as well. So seeing him exhibit all this growth, become better for the second half of 23-24, and now go back to international ice where the surface is bigger, It's been a lot more comfortable for him to transition into that, and he's a smarter, better hockey player because of it. Obviously, people have expectations, but it's not just about the first year. You're trying to build something longer term, and it doesn't happen that fast, Slafkovsky said. We're aiming to be good in a few years and stay up after that. That's our main goal. Honestly, I don't care what others say and think, said Slafkovsky about Montreal's ambitions. The article is talking about the expectations and how Montreal missed the playoffs, this and that, and how everybody's angry, whether or not they should be excited for the future, and for Slafkovsky to go out there and say, yeah, I don't really care about what everybody else is saying. There's that swagger, you know? Like, we had seen it throughout the tournament, too. There was a moment where Slafkovsky was mouthing off Shane Pinto, and that was a really big moment because you could see that Pinto and Slafkovsky, they kind of went shoulder to shoulder a little bit, and then Slafkovsky stared the guy down, and he was like kind of yelling at him. You can tell that Slafkovsky, when he's on the ice and when he's in the face of an opponent, he's got like this attitude. And you hear attitude in NHL context, and you're like, oh, that's a bad thing. Like, you don't want any players with attitude issues, right? But like, Slafkovsky is a humble, super cool looking dude, and when he's talking to Montreal media, talking to Montreal teammates, he seems like a lovable guy. But when he's in the face of an opponent, he gets kind of nasty, and that is the attitude that I think makes him such a rock star. And somebody that, as Kent Hughes and all these other people have said, it gives him that personality that makes him fitting for a first overall draft pick, where it's like, yeah, you're going to have a ton of expectations, everybody's going to have their eyes on you, but he's just kind of cool about it. He's a total rock star, and he's even saying in the media here, yeah, I don't really care what other people think. I don't care if anybody has immediate expectations of us. I don't care what everybody's saying. I just want to be a part of this system that we have. I believe in the process, trust the process, and we're all trying to get better at the same time. This is where the article goes out there and says this. In the last 19 NHL games, Juraj Slafkovsky averaged a point per game, scoring 7 goals and adding 12 assists. With a total of 50 points, he even became the most productive teenager in the history of the Canadiens during one season, surpassing Henri Richard's 40 points from 64 games in 1955-1956. Yeah, always big shout out to the Pocket Rocket anytime his name is mentioned here. And that brings us to an important point. Slafkovsky only celebrated his 20th birthday at the end of March. He still has everything ahead of him and is still in the process of improving, adapting, and learning. For example, how to play in front of thousands of Slovak fans under the pressure that he's the only one who will lead the team, similar to the bronze medal in the Beijing Olympics, where he scored 7 goals in 7 games and was named the most valuable player of the tournament. At that time, the burden of expectations did not fall on him like it does now, when he was the #1 draft pick. He is becoming a star of the Canadiens and should lead Slovakia to success at the World Cup in the Czech Republic. This is where Cole Caulfield goes out there and speaks. I think everyone was too early on him, said Caulfield. People forget that he was only 18 when he came into the league. That's quite a jump. He's a special dude and a special player. We're very happy to have him. I think he's got a great future ahead of him. And just like in the NHL and at the World Cup, Slafkovsky's sentence applies, which underlines everything. I don't care about my points, I'm only interested in winning. There are a few extra things here in this article, which again is from the Slovak NHL page, so you kind of have to translate it, but it's a pretty good message, is it not? Juraj Slafkovsky, speaking out about how he doesn't care about the points and really only cares about the greater good. He wants to be a part of a winning team with a winning culture, and if it means sacrificing some production to get there, hey, so be it. That's what he wants, and I think it's a great thing for him to be able to say. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Juraj Slafkovsky's bold comments out of the World Championships and how it kind of illustrates the rockstar attitude this guy has. Any extra thoughts you have about Slafkovsky while watching this tournament that we didn't talk about yesterday? I will say I am pre-recording this video, so there may be a few extra games here and there of the World Championships, so the point totals might not be totally updated, but either way, sentiment still remains. He's looking for a goal. If he has a goal by now, then okay, great. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Juraj Slafkovsky. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.